And next up, here this morning, we're going to hear from Matthew Rice with the Grizzly Sports Network. They're at Rock Hills High School, airing his weekly Grizzly News Update on KR92. Typically ran on Monday afternoons, but due to technical difficulties, had to be played this morning.
Pursuit and taken away by Justin Luong. He'll have it now. Sends over to Reynolds. Reynolds from three range and down falls the tree. 56-41. Cooper driving to the basket, puts it up.
Oh my goodness!
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
As Andy Cooper stands there just saying, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to stop that? So Rock Hills wins in the Highway 36 rivalry for the first time in boys, for the first time in about 5 to 4 years. And they win their home opener for the first time since 2019. And on top of that, that was the first one against Pike Valley since I think it was actually 2018, if I remember correctly, from that night. But a big night for the boys. So in that case, we'll start off with them. Player of the game being Eli Walchel for Rock Hills at least, and Tristan Reynolds, as they were named the Grizzly Sports Network Player of the Games, with Eli Walchel pulling in 23 points, going 92% from field goal range. He had no three-point attempts on the evening, all twos, all, I believe, up under the basket. 92%. That's usually a high-range spot. He brought in tying Cooper McDill for the most points on the evening and also breaking his personal best in his career. I believe almost doubled it. As for Tristan Reynolds, he brought in 12, or actually it was 11 points, shooting about 27% from field goal range, but that's not where his stats were best at. His stats were really at assists. Well, not really assists, but his best stats were at turnovers and just moving the ball around and able to make things happen. As while his stats might not say he was player of the game, his talent on the court definitely showed it, putting in some unbelievable shots and making a couple saves, with Rock Hills winning against Pike Valley 67-55. Dayton Reeves for Pike Valley having 3 points, Ezra Bean having 9, and Andy Cooper getting 20 points on the evening with a 32% field goal percentage, as Andy Cooper was pretty much trying to do everything he possibly could to get that Pike Valley team to get his last win against this Rock Hills team, which Andy Cooper has never lost to Rock Hills in basketball, but this time he did. Moving on to the girls' side of things on the night, they also won as they beat Pike Valley 33-27. They're on home court, as Bethany Simlink had the most out of anyone by a far margin at 22 points with a 42% field goal percentage. And the next closest had been freshman Miley Oates, getting her both 4 points on the night, being her first points in her varsity high school career, with her shooting a 33% field goal percentage on the evening, and she attempted 3 threes, did not make either of those. And then behind that would be Hallie Miser, 3 points with a 9% field goal percentage. The girls' game was close pretty much throughout. Pike Valley, it looked like, would end up winning it till eventually Rock Hills was able to come in and outlast Pike Valley, who's only had 7 people on the roster, while Rock Hills has 13. Rock Hills continued subbing people in and out constantly, which caused Pike Valley to get tired out, and eventually Rock Hills came out with a win, and Rock Hills sweeps the Highway 36 rivalry in basketball this year. Again, the boys win the first time in the home opener since 2019. And they have the opportunity of going 4-0 for the first time since 2012, with that schedule coming up here being as easy in it as any other, with that schedule coming up here for the boys. And when I say for the first time since 2012, this is for the boys. That schedule coming up is Thunder Ridge, Lakeside, and Stockton. No real challenges there in the Stockton preseason tournament coming up, and that'll be tomorrow against Thunder Ridge for the first one, starting at 6 o'clock. Pregame starts at 5:30 on Grizzly Sports Network at Rock Hill live streaming on YouTube. And then Lakeside on Friday, in Stockton on Saturday. Then finish out the 2024 year. They'll play Logan Palco, who was ranked number 10 in the preseason rankings for the KBCA in the 1A Division II. That will definitely be a hard team to play against, but this boys team went out there and definitely showed that this Rock Hills boys team is in the MPL stay, with honestly the only challenge in the MPL this year for these boys being realistically Sylvan Lucas, with Rosburn having only 10 guys on the roster. As for the girls, same lineup coming up here next as we look to that Thunder Ridge game. As the girls did beat Thunder Ridge last year, both times. They swept them with these. So that one should not be a problem at all as long as Bethany Simlin continues to do her job. But like I said, they had some rust last time. Rock Hills struggled against Pike Valley and really was unable to pull away and win it because of Pike Valley's lack of depth. And if it wasn't for that, Pike Valley probably would have came out with a win. So definitely some rust that needs to be knocked off coming into Stockton to play Thunder Ridge tomorrow night, which again can be found on Grid Sports Network at Rock Hills live streaming on YouTube. But until then, as for Pike Valley, as for the Pike Valley girls, at least, start with them. Coming up next for them, at least from what I have, as they'll have their preseason tournament coming up. The girls will be playing Washington County tomorrow night at Washington County. Well, I don't know if that's actually at Washington County. I would have no way of knowing. It says Washington County, so we'll go with that for now. As Pike Valley, again, taking on Washington County, who has not played a game yet. So that'll be their first game. If you can't tell me, well, tell yourself, what's the best 1A Division I basketball rivalry? I really would say the Highway 36 rivalry between Pike Valley and Rock Hills is one of the best, if not the best, especially in the NPL, but you could argue it. Time is 3:56 at recording, and we'll turn back over to KR92. It's been Matthew Rice for the Rock Hills Recap here on KR92.
Tune back in just after 10 o'clock, and we'll get to our preseason interview with Coach Alan Sheets. Again, pregame this evening will start up during the 5 o'clock hour. Tip-off Republic County versus Bennington around 6.